you ever wanted to buy a laptop but you don't want to break the bank? Or go to Walmart and buy the cheapest piece of crap that's there? Like this thing right here, because it has a damn Celeron in it and you won't be able to get any work done. Mainly because of how slow it is. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you all how you can rebuild your own laptop, which is this Dell Latitude that I bought on eBay right here. The main purpose of this video is to teach y'all how to refurbish a laptop on a budget, either if money's tight for you or if you're like me and just in it to make a decent profit. So this is a Dell Latitude E6440 that I figured would be a good example considering how much I paid for it. This one went for a little more money than a good amount of these other laptops from this specific seller because it's almost a complete laptop despite the fact that there's no hard drive, which is why it was sold to me for so cheap. So I'll let you look through these photos real quick. As you can see, it comes with the battery and everything. Even a disk drive, believe it or not, and the hard drive cover. And as some of you may know, Windows 10 has sadly ended support back in October, which a lot of people are saying this is a problem for a lot of these older PCs, which it is, but it's also not, because I'm going to show you how you can work around that and still keep good old Windows 10 with extended support up until 2032. I'm of course referring to Windows 10 LTSC. You know, that one specific version that everyone on YouTube is talking about but never on Instagram. So let's get this unboxed. And take it out of the packaging. I even put it in this nice fake bubble wrap. Not bad. So as you can see, it's definitely not perfect. It's got two dents near the corners of the lid there. But I bought it for the price, not the looks. Would have used a pocket knife, but kitchen knife was closer at the moment, so that's what I used. So now we can unwrap our SSDs. And there they are, wrapped in this nice sleeve. Went ahead and bought two of them just because, you know, I sent the guy an offer for 18 bucks for both of them, so that's 9 bucks each per SSD, which I thought was a pretty good deal for a Kingston 120 gig. So, yeah. So we'll take this one out and use it, and then we'll save the other one for a special project. Wink wink. Flip it over, and take the screws out for the hard drive cover. Okay, so what you want to do is prop this up like that, if it'll hold. I guess it won't, but you put this gasket right here. Make sure that this is the left one, like so, like it's shown on the thing right there. Just line it up with that, so that way, if you put it on the other way, it's not going to line up with the hole. So you always want to put it on like this, and then just do the same thing with the other side. Put it on like that. Next, you'll see this nipple piece right here where my middle finger is. Or, yep, right here where that's at right now, and you want to line that up with the left side once again, if I can get it on there. I need 2 hands for this. Oh, come on now. There we go. So once that's in, just line it up like that. This is the left side, and now for the right side, you gotta just find a screw to hold this plastic cover down, and then you're good to go. So luckily, I already found one to put in here, and you want to make sure that the threads are this thick, because these are the most common ones to use on hard drives and SSDs, and that's what actually fits in here. I did already test fit it, and I just got that from my box of extra screws right here. So you definitely want to look for one of these, because if you don't have threads that are like this thick and you use something like this instead, it's not going to fit. It'll just go in the hole, but it won't spin. It won't tighten it or anything. Go ahead and rip this off. Now I can show you guys the difference between your what kind of RAM you have. So because this laptop was made in 2015, well, technically 2014, but for this we're going to say 2015 because that's what the BIOS said. Since this thing was made in 2015, it still has DDR3L RAM, because if you take this stick out, you can tell right here, I mean it's just a 4 gig, but that one's also a 4 gig. It says PC3L, and if your laptop, well, if it even has RAM and it comes with it, it says PC3, that means you have DDR3, and if it says PC3L, that means it's DDR3L. Like this one. And you want to be careful with that, because if you get a laptop that has something newer than a 3rd gen Intel processor, like a 3rd gen i5, i7, or i3, then and it's at least a 4th or 5th gen, then it's going to be DDR3L. But if you get like a 1st, 2nd, or 3rd gen Intel Core processor, it's going to have just DDR3. But honestly, if I were you guys, in my case, and this is just what I do in general, I don't even look for DDR3 sticks because they're so hard to find, and when you can find them, they're actually really expensive. Just go with DDR3L sticks, because the computers that have DDR3, or that use DDR3 anyway, are compatible with DDR3L. And the reason for that is because the DDR3L, well, the L in it means it's lower voltage, and regular DDR3 takes higher voltage, so it can handle that. Like the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd gens, they can handle that. But because this is a 2015 laptop, it's going to need DDR3L. And basically what happens when you put a regular DDR3 stick in a DDR3L laptop is it just either won't work, or it'll give you an error when it starts up saying like, oh, this isn't compatible. And you can still use it, but it doesn't always work properly. So it either won't work properly, or it just won't even boot at all, or it'll make like a beeping noise depending on what kind of laptop you have. Like with the Lenovo's, it'll just beep. With the HP's, it'll give you the error, and then with the Dell's, it just won't even turn on at all. I mean, it'll power up, but nothing will show up on the screen. It'll give you some kind of error. However, if you have a laptop that's newer than a 5th gen Intel processor, such as this Latitude 5580, for example, that has a 6th gen processor, well, in that case, you're going to want to find DDR4, because anything that's made after the 5th gen Intel processors is DDR4. So my point to all of this is, just because the date says like 2015 or 2016, some of these have been made in 2016 apparently. I don't know why, but don't go by the date is my point. Don't go by the date. Go by the processor. Like when you check the BIOS, check the processor also to see if you have like a 4th gen, 5th gen, or 6th gen, or 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, because then you'll know what kind of RAM you need. The BIOS will tell you that. Because, like I said, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd gens are DDR3, 4th and 5th gens are DDR3L, like this one, and 6th gens and beyond are DDR4. So now we can throw this back cover on. I just wanted to show you guys that so you would know. So now we can screw down our SSD with the gaskets and the cover on it now. flip it over. And plug it in. Look at that. It's already charging. Now we can turn it on and see if the BIOS can read the SSD. Hit F2 and then just give it a second. Go to System Info. Scroll down. And there it is. Now we can check the battery health. That looks good. Now for CompuTrace. Deactivated. Alright, so we're ready to install Windows now. So now we'll try booting from the hard drive, and when it's on UEFI, this is what it does. And when we switch it to Legacy and hit Apply, this is what it does. So it's not really gonna matter what's on this hard drive anyway, because it's most likely been wiped, and if there is anything on it and it displays this message, well, that probably means they probably tried to put Windows 7 on it or something, but that won't matter since we're going to be putting Windows 10 on it. So we can stick in the adapter with the SD card on it in there. Hit F12, scroll down to USB storage and hit enter. Wait for it to load. And here's the setup. And now obviously we're going to say we don't have a product key. Now we got to select the version, so it's not really going to matter which one we do because, well, I mean, it's going to get LTSC on it anyway, so I guess we could just go with Windows 10 Home. (2021) accept. Next. Can't do upgrade for obvious reasons. And looks like it's ready to go. So, yep. So, we'll come back once it's done installing. And now it's just the typical
Your keyboard is set to US. Want to stick with that?
Shut up, Cortana. So there's my router, but we'll just skip that for now. And continue with the limited setup. Just type in user. Skip that. And choose my preferred options here. Get Cortana out of your way. And that's it. And here we are on the Windows 10 desktop. Now we just gotta install all the drivers and then make sure we're ready to get to LTSC. Now we can connect to the router. Open up Edge. And check Device Manager to see if we're missing anything. Yep, looks like we're missing a couple, so we could try to update them even though it's probably not going to do anything. Nope. So let's try Windows Update now. Got a few updates. Looks like it's just for malware though. And if we scroll down a little bit, looks like our drivers are there. Look at that. Wants us to restart already. Let's do it. And now that we've rebooted, you can see here that we finally have the option to put it into sleep mode, which means the graphics driver is installed. And now it looks like everything else is trying to download, so we can just wait for that. And restart it again. Let that progress complete. Another thing I forgot to mention, and this is mainly why I choose Dells over HPs and Lenovo's, is that you can actually get drivers for these Dells like so easily. Like all you have to do is type in Dell, whatever your model is, like Precision, Latitude, Inspiron, anything, and it'll take you to Dell's website. And you can also put in your service tag, and it'll get the drivers that you need. So now we're going to need an ISO of the OS, which I'll leave this link down in the description so you guys can download it. And now after putting the OS on our SD card using Rufus, we can take the SD card cover out and put the actual SD card in. Next, we need to open Registry Editor and take this path shown on my screen. Click on the edition ID and type in IoT Enterprise S exactly the way I typed it. And from here, it's pretty much the same as every other Windows installation, so I just skipped this step for you guys so you wouldn't have to watch it again. So this is it. Looks about the same as every other version of Windows 10, except now you're getting 6 more years of support, but you just got to figure out how to activate it. So as you can see over here, a good amount of people were interested in the laptop, which is why I'm always very descriptive about each item I put up for sale, especially this one. And yes, I did find a 65-watt charger for dirt cheap on eBay as well. But I bought it with another one a while back, as you can see here, which is why it says $17. All in all though, with only having to throw in an SSD and a charger, I really only had to put $17 into this laptop, ironically enough. So, I mean, it's not exactly the best profit-wise, but, you know, I mean, it's something. Another thing you should definitely be careful of is if you're selling stuff on Marketplace and you're going to meet up with someone, or, well, you at least have plans to do that, I would always check their profile before you even respond or do anything, because you never know who you're dealing with and who's texting you, because for all you know, it could be a burner account, it could be a bot, it could be someone from like 2 states away. You just never know. So yeah, that's just something to be aware of whenever someone asks you if it's available. But I ended up having a good conversation with this person, as you can see. Now, normally, I don't meet up with people who send another person to come buy my items, because in most cases, the person interested wants you to come to them because they don't have a source of transportation, since they probably made some, well, I'll just say dumb choices, to put it nicely, and they most likely live in a sketchy area. But this was actually an exception, because they asked if their son could meet up at Sheetz, which was perfectly fine because they actually, you know, they had transportation, they had a car. So yeah, that ended up working out just fine. And I did actually end up selling it to them, as you can see, on January 15th, which was like, well, almost a month ago now, but haven't really had time to film this, so I'm just getting it out now. And I actually posted this laptop up for sale on New Year's Eve, so
It really didn't take me that long to sell, which I thought was pretty nice actually.
So like this video if you found it helpful, share it if you think someone else might need it, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.